Let's go live. Good Lord. Just getting up. Should be getting back some hours in about a good hour from now. We're gonna try to fix a few things on the truck. Well, just one thing on the truck. These little jumpsuits that they give us make good for working. So my fuel tank wasn't bleeding over. Keep saying it. Well, it keep let's flip this. It's only leaking. Well, it's only coming out of that tank and not this one. So I got a full tank over here consistently. I'm gonna leave that open. I'm guessing from previous days, all this mud and stuff. That tank. So for months, I've just been driving on this one tank, and it always has a full tank of gas, but it always has that full tank of gas on this side. But now I'll go to the fuel section and try to put some fuel in it. Every time when I put the nozzle in and I double check, it's always full. Usually they say just try to bleed it out. Might as well crawl up under here. But like I say, these jumpsuits makes good for crawling up under stuff. So I've tried to look for a nozzle that I can just turn, but there was no nozzle. I looked at this and it was all mud. So as I'm knocking it out, it was dirt that was in this hole. I'm gonna try to push something up in there to try to clean it out, because when I got this hole right here, I heard it start making a air sound, like it was sucking air in. So hopefully that ought to fix it. I don't see anything that I can turn to shut off the fuel on this side, because usually it will have two. One for the out and one for the in, or whichever one is which. So I'm guessing in. No, the bigger one would generally put it out, so it would shoot over to the other tank, and then the small one would bring it over into this tank if that one is overfilled. So I'm gonna try to use these Ziploc things, try to push it up in there. See 2 people in the chat, but I can't see if you guys are saying anything. So all kinds of dirt and stuff falling out of it. I'm guessing when you're driving on these lease roads, it just builds up mud. Meanwhile, I'm under here, I might as well just lube up the truck. Somebody say something, let me know if the chat's working. Maybe you guys can give me some tips to try to figure out why is my tank ain't moving over. Here, I think I put it all chat is visible. All right. Let me try to grow massive from up under there. Well, it's gonna be mud everywhere now. I'm gonna go check the other side because when you're driving on these roads, mud get up all in the hoses. I thought I was gonna actually see a cutoff valve that I could cut it off, take the hose off. I even cut a little container, hopefully that hopefully I could have took the hose off to try to blow it out. Let me try to. Let me show you guys. All right, so last night it said I filled up last night. It took 60 gallons last night. And it said I had a full tank, and then I did one load. I did like a 95 mile run with one sand, and it took an entire quarter of a tank, which it's not supposed to. So then coming here to the yard, it said I had a half a tank of fuel, which was weird. So that's what I'm kind of skeptical about. Also, I went and test drove some twin trucks the other day. Went and test drove some twin trucks the other day, hoping that something would be ready. But he told me he just got them in. They were I put out a video about it, but for some reason it wasn't trying to upload. And he told me that he just got them in. They weren't ready yet. He just sent one to the dealership to get it DOT inspected and everything, but it wasn't ready for the road because it was still governed. The engine brake wasn't working. I think it was governed at 67 miles an hour. This rock up under here. It was governed at 67 miles an hour, and engine brake wasn't too good. Wasn't working at all on one of them. Right. I'm gonna crawl up to the top up there. So just let me grab my gloves and some stuff. Cause since we under here, we're just gonna lube the truck up real quick. This is something while you're down you can do. Get a grease gun. Need to buy some more grease. Buy yourself a grease gun from Walmart for like 20 bucks. Buy the grease for $8, $9, I think. I still got 2 trucks that I need him to fix up for me. Still not moving yet. We're gonna give it a few and see. I don't know where to put you guys. But that was just the update about the trucks. The dealership was supposed to send off some paperwork. It kind of delayed one of my drivers. He was supposed to send off the dealership's supposed to send off the titles to the company, but they got it labeled in a different state, so it kind of threw off everything. So driver is ready, everything was good to go on my end, and then on the driver's end. We didn't expect this delay for him, so there we go. Now I just turned it on. Good evening, black man. It's still morning for me. Just gonna try to lube up as much of this truck as possible while we're here. I was gonna call my mechanic guy. And have him do a B service to the truck. I generally have him do a B service every 4 months, and just do what he got to do. Sooner or later, shit, I might as well just start changing my own oil. I mean, all it is unscrewing your screw, just like your car. Just unscrew a few screws, drain the oil, put it back in a container, and then change out the filters. Save yourself some money just like that. I mean, it ain't that big of a deal. All right. And as y'all can see, well, you can't see, but let me turn you guys around. That's mud from where I went to offload. This is just a little bit, but the mud was higher than that, and basically it's just a line of mud. The truck was just up under. So from the little water puddles that I've seen, I actually just used it and try to wash away most of the mud and stuff that was up under here. Even this was up on the water as well. I mean, up under the mud. So that's how bad it was, that the mud covered the entire muffler and up under here. So I'm guessing that's what happened to that tube. All that mud and stuff. I think y'all can see the level where the mud was. It was literally high that it went up under the truck from where we sat, because the staging pad was literally flooded with mud. Hoping that this solved the problem. It could be something small as this airline, because it need air to go in. Let me see if I can, to go in the tank. So the air pocket, does it look like it's moving? It's a full tank on this side, literally. But in order for it to breathe over, it's this airline, like air flows through this and goes down in order to relieve the pressure. So from you closing down this tank, it stops that pressure from bleeding over. But close this off. I'm wondering if I should have just unscrew this to see if that oughta, if it was because there should be like a long thing in here with a ball pin to stop the airflow from going in and out of this right here, and sometimes that could be the problem. We got air flowing through it. Sometimes that could just be the problem, just so we get the air to flow down. But we're gonna keep an eye on it. And hopefully that ought to solve the issue. But enough with the delay. Let's crawl up onto here and try to go lube this sucker up real quick. It's one thing I hate, crawling up onto this truck. So, when you guys have the blower, there's a few nipples that's on here that you gotta grease. Let me turn you guys around. Let's try to find this nipple first. All right, so let me see if you guys can see it. It's right here. There's 3 of them that's on here. It's 3 of them that's on here. So this is one right here. If you guys can see that right there. Right there. That's one nipple right there. And when you put some lube in it, it's gonna come out through the joint. It's kind of dark, so you can't see it. Let's crawl up on it here some more. Another one is up here. It's right there. So when you put some grease in it, put some lube in it, it's gonna come out through these joints right there. So it's good to keep that lubed up. And there's another one all the way up there. So let's get up there. Hang on. Bear with me. Trying to grab the grease gun as well. While we crawl up here. And at the same time, it's good just to inspect it under the truck. Ain't no grease everywhere or no oil leaks, which is good. A lot of people be having problems with this, with their drive shaft, because the drive shaft has a tendency to get loose and fall off, because the lease roads out here be messing up your truck. All right, let's see. Here's the 3rd one right there. That little nipple. That's it right there. Remember the time when we had to fix these damn air tanks because they had water leak in them? I don't know where to put you guys. Hang on. There's nothing up under here where... Let's see if I can lay you guys down where you guys can see it. Should be about it. But I don't want grease falling on it. So basically all I'm gonna do is just prep up the gun. There we go. And grease is already coming out. I just don't want it to fall. All we're simply gonna do is get right on there like that and just give it a few pumps. I feel it's gonna fall on the phone. Hang on. There we go. And then just turn this to the left or right. I should just that. Let me put you guys up. All I did was just pull it, push this button, give it a few turns, and then pump it down, and you guys should start seeing it fall out right there. That's it. We're up on the truck here. Fuel tank problem. It's gonna fall on the phone. All we're gonna do is just push out the old grease in with the new. Yeah, not gonna waste too much in there. We're going down to the other one. Don't do this when the truck is hot either. Alright. Can you take the airline off and then clean it? Probably. I just which airline are you talking about though? Are you talking about this tank airline? Or my actual airline for the tank for the truck? Like these? Because this is already clear. I just took it out from the top and blew it off. Well, blew air in it, and it was pretty clear. I can't see much right now. There you go. All right, we're gonna do this one. Simply stick it on there. When you hear a snap, and basically this is all you do. You just give it a few pumps. And you're gonna see the old oil, which is gonna be black, coming out. Which you see it. Let me try to turn it around. Right there. See the old oil coming out. Each pump you give it. Wasn't on there. Each pump you give it, the black oil comes out, which is coming out right now. The black is gonna come out, and then the red is gonna go right in and replace it. That's basically it. You just take it out, move to the next. Most times it's just let me turn this around back. Most times it's just the dirt. The dirt is gonna clog up the line. And it's good to keep it lubed up. Somebody said something. You say you have all the radiant clean. Nah, they it's one of them went back to the dealership, and they wanted $10,000 down for the other truck. They wanted my personal information now. They wanted my checking and savings account. They wanted my business account, the checking and savings account for those as well. They wanted the titles for my truck, and they wanted to put a GPS in my truck as well. So anytime you hear any dealership, or if you guys gonna go buy a truck or anything from anywhere, if you hear them ask for your personal information, like your bank statements, your checking and savings, your business account if you have one, or your titles for your truck, walk away from it. Reason why? Because that place is up to no good. Or whoever that bank is up to no good. want. Grease all over me. Don't take it. Walk away from those, because it's always something up with it. What's up, Anthony? Or Antony, if I pronounced it right. All right, so we're basically done with the lubing up under here. What I'm gonna do now, we're gonna lube up the tractor real quick. These stuff is what I do to my other trucks as well. It doesn't take long. I can do it when the truck is hot or cold, but I'd rather be upon the truck when it's cold, because chances are you might be holding on to stuff. You might be holding on to stuff that literally burn you. Like I say, these little jumpsuits that they give you, they're pretty good. That's what I use to do my maintenance work and stuff, instead of using your regular clothes. All right, see some chatter. What you guys say? All right. Is buying a 2014 Freightliner with 500,000 miles good for 55,000? Well, my truck here has 55,000. The previous truck that I purchased has like 48,000 miles, and that was like 44,000. I mean, the highest that I'll pay for a used truck is at least 55,000 for it. If it has less than 300,000 miles, then you're looking at $60,000 to $70,000. Now, another thing is, I'm not gonna get any automatic trucks, because all the automatic trucks that I look at, because they say it's fuel efficient and it's easy for everyone to take their driving test in, it costs too much, and it's pointless putting the automatic out here. Now it drains. It's starting to go down just a little now. Remember, it was filled all the way to the top, so it looks like it's actually going down now. So I think we're about even, because now I can't see the fuel, which is good. So at least that fixed the problem. So once again, it's this airline that leads down to the ground, because you don't have a cutoff switch. Is it focusing? It doesn't have a cutoff switch down there to basically so if your fuel line right there is busted, you're gonna leak diesel fuel everywhere. So this is the airline that was supposed to help breathe through this, so the fuel can bleed over to that tank. So I took that cap off, cleaned that hose, and this airline right here was clogged with mud. So I had to use one of these and just stick it up in there and blow it out with your breath. All right, back to the chat. Let me turn this around. Somebody said something else. All right, from Tony, do you have any gear fitting on the ball joint up on these? I believe not. Let me zoom in and try to show you. I don't think there's any ball joints. It's just it's just like that, just like your drive shaft, just like your drive shaft. That's just it. All right, I need to zoom it back out. There we go. There. All right. Yeah, but don't buy any, if you're coming out to the oil field, try not to get no automatics, because I understand that everybody wants to take their tests in automatics, and they put a restriction on you, and you never know when opportunity comes, and that kind of have a delay, because now that person either have to spend $75,000 to get the automatic truck, when you can get a manual truck for $40,000 to $55,000. And don't buy any used truck over 500,000 miles for more than 55,000 or 50,000. Even if you're gonna make payments on it, it should be, the price sale for the truck should be at least 45 to 50,000. And then they're gonna throw in their fees and what was it, fees for the bank fees, interest, and all that stuff is gonna round it up to like 55,000. So that's the downfall to it. But it is good. You don't need no brand new truck to come out here to the oil field, because the roads are gonna mess it up. Let me see. I like the fact that you're making sure your equipment in good order. Always. Anytime you have a little downtime, in which I'm pretty sure dispatcher is going to call me, because they kept calling me all last night and this morning when I was completely out of hours, because they literally need you. And I don't joke when it comes to running my loads. As soon as I'm done, I'll be the last one in, I'm the first one out. It don't take me no more than like 45 to an hour to blow off some sand. And that's it. It doesn't take that long. Anytime that you spent on your downtime to try to do a 10-hour rest break, get up 1 hour, check your truck out, make sure everything is in good working order, because tomorrow is going to be Monday. And in case if you see something wrong right now, you can take it to the shop place or here at the yard and have them address it. For me, I needed them to change this down here. But what he did, it's always these third hoppers that's going to give the problem. So what he did, he just spot well this right here and just put a spot well, and that was it. And that stopped the air leak. Then, when was it? On the 26th, today is the 28th. Sleeper, somebody backed into my trailer, did a scratch all right here. Scratch there, and scratch this. Well, I kind of pulled these out just to try to get my hose out, in which is this 20-foot hose right here. And like I say, I dumpster dive, and I make my own hoses. So I make all my hoses right out of the dumpster, because the company drivers tend to throw the hoses away when they have a hole. Reason why? Because they ain't got to pay for it. But since it's your owner op, you got to pay for your own hose. This is what you got to do. So I just get these little zip ties. I don't know if you guys can see it. Get these little zip ties, and I just cut the hose from where it's damaged. Why does it look like it's zoomed? Cut the hose where it's damaged, and then put these zip ties things on them and tighten them down. It's just the same thing as when you take your truck to or your car, and you have a radiator hose, and you just use those vice clamps and tighten it up. Well, that should solve the problem. For this one, it's basically just the same thing with this line. You can easily just take it off by wiggling it. Easily take it off by wiggling it. Sometimes you hear it make a hiss sound, so that means the hose in here is clogged. If you hear this make a hiss sound, if you hear it go tss, that means this hose was clogged up, so it doesn't have air going in here to release it. And that was the same thing that basically happened on the other side. That happened on that side. Other than that, she's running like a champ. I'm gonna show you guys real quick with the nipples as well. Instead of you taking your truck in to these shops, up we go. Instead of you taking your truck into these shops, spending $200-300, you can invest it yourself and do it yourself. They're gonna charge you guys $300 just to lube your truck up for you. So we're gonna do it our own little self with just this little grease gun. And that's all. So I think there should be, and also I put some grease on here so it just sits perfect. So let's find these little nipples first. Anyone get any questions? Hey, you gotta be smart when it comes to greasing up your truck. If you don't grease your joints, it's gonna wear and tear your truck. Once your truck start wear and tearing, it's gonna be no good to you. Now you're gonna be in the shops on a regular basis trying to fix your truck, and that's not good. So here we got, let me try to point them out as well. Let's turn it around. Hang on. So here we got one. I think we need to crawl up under here. Ain't got no problem getting down there and dirty. Let's turn the wheels first. Make life a lot easier. Looks like fuel's finally getting in there. So you can tell I'm gonna need a fuel filter soon because you can see that's dark brown. It's supposed to be clear white. The other trucks that I get, if you buy the truck and you see the filter is dirty, that means it hasn't had an oil change. Check all the fluids. And like I say, also if your clutch start feeling soft, if you have one of this up here, it's probably low. And my clutch was literally touching the ground. See? It's empty. You guys can see it. It's empty again. Look at that. Good thing we said let's check it. That's also helped my brake fluid, and that's already open. That helps my brake fluid and my clutch because, what did he tell me? I just go to the truck stop and just buy that. So when that happens, my clutch gets real soft and I can easily push it all the way to the ground just like that. But now it's still some fluid left in it, so good thing I say let me double check it, because stuff like this, you're driving with that heavy sand, thing is completely out of fluid. Nothing. Completely empty in there. So let's just pour some in. And that's bad too for it to be empty. I mean, your clutch could go out on you. Up. My clutch could have went out on me. Although I don't use my clutch and double shift and all that stuff, I float my gears. But still, small stuff like that makes a difference. So what I'll do, my drivers have their employee cards. If something should happen, I activate it and tell them, take it to a shop, get it checked out. I need to buy another one of this bottle, but instead of this small bottle, buy a bigger bottle. And I don't spend any cash at the truck stop for stuff like that, all because simply bills and stuff like this. So let me show you guys for like even one. Man, this sunlight. There. Simple stuff like when I went and got tires for the truck, I put 8 drives on there. Cost 3,800, 3,000, wait a minute, where is it? It's not the total. $3,505.41 right there. You guys can see it. And it's all, it was quoted at $3,915.41. So, and those are just tires. And for it to be like that, the reason why it dropped down to 3,500 was because they bought back my old tires. They still had a lot of meat on them. Still had a lot of meat on it. So they told me I didn't really need tires, but it's always good to be safe than sorry. Then you have a blowout on a bad tire or DOT inspection, and one of your tires could be low. But none of my tires was low because I check all that stuff. I got 2 air pressure gauges. And I check my tires as well, and I keep them back in here. So we're just gonna lube up the truck. Purrs like a kitty. Just turn the wheel as far as you can. Cut the truck off. That's it. Alright, so let's go. Let's go lube that baby up. Always got to keep your truck lubed up and ready to go. I'm telling you, dispatcher is gonna call me. Interrupt all this. Any questions about truck related? I can tell you guys out here, you guys got to watch out because there's plenty of used trucks out here that you really don't want to be driving or buying and end up in a bad situation. All right, let's try to put you guys down where you guys can see. The main tires that take a lot of damage is your steers. So here we have one up under here, 2 right here. Here's number 3. Number 4 is right there. No. The reason to it is you got to look at these bushings, and they're really small. There's like a little bit of lube that's left in it because the truck bounces up and down, it pushes it out. So we're gonna do this side real quick. Where did I have you guys? Gonna lube up this sucker real quick and get up from up under here. So you get on there, 1, 2, give it a few pumps. Oh, there you go. And you'll see it just start bleeding out the, basically it bleeds out the black one. Most people do it with the truck jacked up, but you don't need to have your truck jacked up for this. And then for this, you'll see it's coming out up here. So let me try to. Now I'm doing a lot of moving around, but I might as well just put you guys right here. Let's get this thing over with real quick. And you'll see it coming out right here. If you guys can see it. Look how brown it is. You can keep doing that till you see the red, but it's still the same damn grease. I have no intention of wasting all my grease right there. Alright, it's supposed to come out through the side. Ugh, it's supposed to see water sprayed out right there. Is this it for that bubble up there? Let's see. Yep. So we don't want to put too much in this one because we don't want this bubble getting too fat. If that pops, then we're at a bad luck there. All right. I think we're done with those. We can put some in this one while we're down here. Go. Easy as that. You see it coming out down here with this one. All that part is coming out right there. All right, there it is. So you can see that thick line. This helps your truck get a nice smooth ride. Alright, there we go. That helps your truck get a nice smooth ride right there. Thanks for the likes. So basically that's it. Any part where you see all that black grease coming out of, that's that old grease. Just move over to the other part and do the same. Now this side should have a little more. This side should have a little bit more. This one has, in the beginning, this right here was very thin, and now it looks like at least it's still having a little lube in it. So we got one right there, two, another one's supposed to be up under here, make three, the bottom of there, four, that chest right there, five. There's a few that's up under here. Let me turn this wheel the other way. Let me turn this steering wheel the other way. You need some lube too. I got something for you. Purrs like a kitty. But with stuff like these, it's just your joints right there just need a little WD-40. Hey, what do you know? No more noise. You're good to go. Uh-oh. Dropping stuff now. See how the truck is vibrating? just gonna lube up this side real quick. Then we're gonna hit up dispatcher. We're gonna head back to our well site. Gonna head back to our well site. Oh, let me show you something. Hello there, Queen. Probably missed a lot of the video. Also, it put pressure on your coolant reservoir. I'm gonna buy another reservoir and change it myself. It ain't nothing but a couple of screws to take out. So screws here. But this is actually, if you guys can tell me what tape this is, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. But if you guys know what tape this is, good luck. Pretty sure you guys all know. So this is what I'm talking about. That means there's no grease in there. It's basically just thinned down. So we're gonna fill that up real quick. This is something that you guys when you own your truck, you're gonna start noticing stuff like this. It helps on your drive and stuff. You only hear all those squeaking noise. Yeah. Oh, hear all that squeaky sound. All right, so here's one of the joints. Like I say, just is it dirty already in there? Just clip that, give it a couple squeeze. And that's it on that. Fly. Move over to here. Oh, that already has some grease. Don't want to fill that nipple up too much. Here's another one right here. This side has a lot more nipples to it. This side's gonna need a I already knew this side was gonna take a lot of grease, and it's coming out on the other side now. Usually it's good when the truck is jacked up. Oh, it's dripped right on my arm. Oh, there we go. So you basically can use one entire tube. Now the old grease is falling out, if you guys can see it. When it's almost empty, gotta sit up for this. I'm not sure if it's already out of grease. But we're gonna need to buy some more grease. Any questions? That looks like I got a halo. There we go. We're just waiting on the trucks to get prepped up, cleaned up. I just found some issues on the other truck that he told me it should be ready by sometime this week. Well, we're coming up Monday, so I test drove 2 of them on Wednesday. So we're gonna see how that goes. Just reconnecting. Are we still there? Miles right there. Can't tell if you guys can see it because the sun is too bright. Let's see if I pull this curtain. Miles right there. So we'll focus. Let's do this. There. Get away. Miles are right there. This steering wheel, get the heck out the way. 563937. She purrs like a kitty. So now we have a 1/4 tank of fuel now, so I guess we fixed the problem. It was saying half, now we're at a 1/4. So we're gonna see how it runs all week. Sorry, I was rocking the truck there. Gotta see what's up with this grease gun. We need to get this need to get this over with. How much was that truck? Signal's crappy out here. That's basically it. So this is it's high temperature grease gun. That's all I do. You say how much those grease gun costs? They're in Walmart. You can get them out of Walmart, like 15 bucks, and then you buy the grease for it for like 8 to 10 bucks. So I just buy 3 of them. It's bad signal. Every 2 to 3 weeks I just grease the truck up. Well, you can get it's bad signal, I apologize. Well, you can get the grease gun out of Walmart, and you just grease your truck up yourself with all those joints and stuff, and that's it. 15-20 bucks for the grease gun, or you can get it at Harbor Freight for cheap. If you got a Harbor Freight membership, or you just walk into Harbor Freight, sign up for their stuff, you get free coupons and stuff. So this inside of Walmart probably costs 15-20 bucks, who knows. I bought this